Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Effortlessly Abundant Life. I'm so excited you're here with me, connected to this episode. To all my salespeople, to all my business owners, to all my people who wants to have more abundance, more wealth, more money in their life, and they don't want to work hard for it. They are tired of it. They're exhausted from it. They just don't know how to get unstuck from that red race that so many of us are in. This episode is dedicated to you. So, we're going to learn why hard work does not equal more money and how you can get unstuck and rewire yourself to actually make more money with less effort and more ease and more fun and more joy and just by being you. Sounds good? Okay, so let's do a quick intro and come into this episode. Welcome to the Effortlessly Abundant Life podcast, where we will dive into the mindset, spirituality, and practical tools to have more of what you want with less effort. I'm your host, Natalia, a mindset shifter, certified life and success coach, and hypnotherapist who is obsessed with making your life feel good from the inside out. So let's dive in today's episode in 3, 2, 1. So to all my salespeople, if you are salespeople or in a corporate world, if you are working, I don't care in what industry, if you are knocking on doors, sending cold messages, posting on LinkedIn, if you are going to networking events, one after the other, and by the end of the month, you don't see the numbers that are actually equivalent to the hard work you're putting out there, and you're not happy with the numbers you're seeing, that means that there's more for you. And hard work is not going to help that. And we're going to talk about why is that so. And if you're a business owner and you are posting online and you putting, maybe you're even buying ads somewhere on Facebook or Instagram, or you're just putting yourself out there, because if you're a business owner, you're also a salesperson as well, especially if you're a medium, small size business, and the people not coming, and the numbers by the end of the month again are not kind of reflecting the quote unquote hard work you're putting in, and you just don't understand what is the problem, because you're doing all the things they tell you to do, but yet the numbers that you want to see are not there. So as you can see from the title of this episode, hard work does not equal more money. And this is something that was really hard for me to understand in the beginning, because everything I knew from seeing my parents, who are blue collar, hardworking immigrants that came from nothing, from Belarus, came by themselves with me to Israel, where they didn't know the language and they just started working 3 jobs. They worked as, dishwashing in the kitchen, or just doing some electrical work or construction, working in a supermarket as a cashier, like the most, you know not, there's no bad or good jobs, but these people went to college, they had degrees, and to go to a completely different environment and different country and start from the bottom and work in a job that pays you minimal wage. And I remember my dad would be like really poor, right? So my dad would go on every Friday to the market and buy the cheapest fruits and vegetables for the whole week, because if you go to the supermarket near our neighborhood, it was very expensive. So living in this kind of environment, we're seeing my parents and also my grandma who raised me. And oh my God, she was a business owner and there was a whole thing there, but she worked really, really hard as well. Like all my important figures in my life showed me, in order for you to have safety, abundance, money, survival, food, you need to work hours upon hours upon hours, not even one job, not even two jobs, maybe even three jobs to sustain yourself. Eventually, my mom became a registered nurse. My dad became an engineer. They're doing very well right now, but they're still working a very 9 to 5 corporate world kind of life, And I decided when I moved from Israel to New York City when I was 21, after I finished my military service, that I want to create a life for myself. And truthfully, I believe the biggest hack is to remove yourself from your familiar environment and start your life maybe in a different city, maybe in a different country. For me, it was in the end of the world, moving by myself with two suitcases and kind of figure out life on my own. And I understood that I dragged this belief with me because you can move to the end of the world, but still, the belief systems are still there. But it's easier to rewire yourself when you don't have this environment that keeps expecting you to be a certain way and reminds you to be a certain way. And I remember working when I was going to my undergrad and my master's, when I went for music education, and performance, I found myself working on weekends and nights and just working really, really hard. But still, I would not make enough. I would make like maybe 20,000, 30,000 a year, guys. I remember I had a budget of like $600 a month. I had no money to go out, eat outside. I had a very specific budget for my weekly kind of meal prep, and I would eat just that. Every dollar was calculated and well spent, and I would buy in the cheapest like dollar stores. I would get like really like it's just the truth, and that's how it was. And I just want to give you this example to show you that I am not just saying things from a place of, I have everything and I live this abundant life. I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to want something so bad and wanting to enjoy life so badly and have freedom so badly and wanting to get to the point where you don't need to worry about money. That is why I'm so passionate to talk to you about this, because I don't want you to think that because you were born to certain circumstances or a certain person or, living in a neighborhood or whatever you think expected from you, that's it. This is the life you have and this is your destiny. This is not your destiny. This is just the background. But you are, my dear, my power. You always have the power to change it. So fast forward, after I kind of switched complete industries from being a music teacher, I decided that I want to go for sales. And if you know my story, I went to sales and I went to every networking event. I was on my feet every day, all day. And by the end of the month, I had no sales. Like I had here and there, and I would think that would be pretty good, but my boss didn't like that. And I remember they sat down with me. They're like, okay, we got to do something different. And I felt so not embarrassed, but I felt like it was so not fair because I put so much hard work. And I knew that, I did everything I could to make it happen. So I don't know why is it not happening. And they they maybe thought that I'm not working hard enough. So they would sit down with me every single week, looking into my schedule. What did I do every single day? Who did I see? What did I did? Da, 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 da. And I felt I was like literally choking because I felt I have no freedom. I felt like everything I do was watched. I couldn't and it bring me more pressure to sell and I couldn't sell. And you caught up in this like vicious cycle of like, you can't breathe. It's like, you need the money because I need the money. I'm here by myself. I need to make money in order to survive in New York City. As you know, it's not a cheap city. And I switch industries. Like how I'm gonna explain it to my parents that after doing undergrad and master's degree in music education that no longer fulfill me, and I decided to move to a completely different industry, that it's not working, and I need money now because I cannot sell. It just sounds crazy. And this is how I felt. And I knew there was something that is happening here that I'm not tapping into and something that I need to unlock. And this is what I want you to understand. Every challenge you're going through right now, it's an invitation for you to change something within you or remove something within you that is no longer serving you. And most likely it's actually to remove, because I believe in your essence, and we're going to talk about it more in depth, that you are worthy and more than worthy to feel abundant, to feel free, to feel excited about your life. This is your birthright. So more likely than not, instead of changing who you are, change the things that no longer serve you and remove the beliefs and the feelings and the things that keep you stuck in this kind of like identity and this paradigm that is not who you truly are. So long story short, I worked on my mindset on a deep level. I went deep because, when I always went to like self-development and I read all the books, but I took it to the next level. I went to Tony Robbins events. I hired coaches. I read more books. I listened to every podcast I could. I did the deeper inner work with myself, with my surroundings. I worked on my energy. I truly tapped into the core of the issue, not the superficial bullshit, not the posting more or seeing more clients or doing something physically, but working on my internal energy, my mindset, my thinking patterns, my feelings, and who I am in order to shift this reality. Because reality is just a perception. So I changed my reality by changing my perception. And one of the biggest, hardest belief that it was really hard for me to kind of shift was understanding that hard work and sacrifice is not equal more money. This is, I feel, the biggest lie we've been told, that if we work hours upon hours, we'll be granted with this award of more money and respect, because that's what we see everywhere, especially in America. This is like the American culture, especially in New York. New York never sleeps. New York is all about the hustle. All these things you hear. And it's kind of true. I remember when I was sick, my boss would call me. He's like, "What do you mean you're sick? Get a Tylenol, let's go back to work." I'm like, "I can't." And I got to the point where I got sick almost every 2 weeks. Can you imagine how pissed they were? There's nothing they could do. And there's nothing that I could do. My body was just signaling like, hey, I can't do this anymore. But yet I felt guilty about it. I wouldn't let myself rest to really heal myself, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. And I was just kind of like laid down for 2 days and still work from bed, right? And do as much as I can and just like push through to the next. And then again, I would crash because I didn't let myself heal all the way. Ah, fun times. So, as I said, it was so hard for me to shift this idea that, wait, I don't need to sacrifice nights and days and working really hard and be a really good person and do everything right. And all the things that I had, all these conditions I have in order to receive money. And the biggest realization that I had, and I'm sharing with you this today, is money doesn't give a shit if you're a good person. Money doesn't care if you work hard you don't work hard. Money doesn't care if you sacrifice your time, enjoy your health for it. It is neutral. It is a neutral energy that you can tap into by being that frequency of having that, being that person that already acquires that abundance and money now. Money flows in the most easiest way when there's nothing that stops it, right? It's going to flow to you when there is no what we call a split energy, right? In one way you want money and the other way you don't want money because you don't know how to handle it. You don't feel you're worthy of it. You don't know how to manage it. You don't know how to hold this type of energy of abundance. So it's not going to flow to you with ease anymore, right? It's going to feel kind of contradictory. So it's just not going to come to you. So when I understood that, wait, money doesn't care if I work 12 hours a day versus 2. Money doesn't care if I sacrifice my time and everything and my health. Money doesn't care about all those stuff. So why I care so much about it? Why I doing this to myself? And more horribly, I'm not even getting the results by doing that. But we are so addicted to what society kind of worships, right? This like hard worker person that is dedicating their life. And it's so noble to be almost like working for no money, No, money is a wonderful tool for us to help ourselves, to expand ourselves, to help others. As I always say, money is amplifying who you really are. And money doesn't change you. Money just gives you more resources to do whatever that is that you want. If you seeing being rich, having Lamborghinis, multiple cars in your parking lot, multiple houses, traveling around the world, good for you. This is your version of abundance and rich. My version of abundance and rich is nothing to do with that. It is actually freedom, freedom to do whatever I want, freedom to buy whatever I feel I want, not because society tells me, oh, you got to have this Gucci bag, or, oh, rich means you have to have this kind of house. I don't care about those stuff. For me, it's to have the luxury of how I spend my time and my day with my family, the experiences that we have, the access to certain technologies and medicines and therapy that I can afford, maybe go on retreats, and more about the experience and enriching my life and others through money and helping them through money. So everybody has a version of what abundance means to them, and you need to be very honest. What does that look like to you? But coming back to the actual topic, when I understood that nobody cares how hard I work and only the most important thing is the results. And I'm also going to give you guys the 3 things that shifted everything for me. Okay. Number 1, I want you to heal your relationship with your parents when it comes to money. And let me explain to you. As I explained to you, the reason why I told you the story about my parents is for you to understand that the way you encounter and you develop a certain kind of relationship and expectation for money is directly correlated to how you heard, seen, interacted with money with your parents. Because you didn't know about money before your parents showed you, hey, this is money, this is the budget, this is what we do with it, or do we have enough of it, or we don't have enough of it. How they interact with money is how you internalize how you should interact with money. So healing your relationship with your parents is crucial. Money is also a masculine energy. And some people say, oh, heal your relationship with your father. I believe that it has to be both, because we both of our parents has masculine and feminine. And it's very important, especially as a female entrepreneur or salesperson. It's actually, you're going to see yourself in your mother figure, and anything that your mom kind of interacted with money is something you internalize about yourself. You want it or not, it's in your subconscious. 95% of all your decisions are driven from your subconscious mind. Even if you don't agree with it on the conscious level, if you think it doesn't, it's not who you really are, it's actually just, it's just the way it is. That is so why it's so important to work on your subconscious mind, and we're going to talk about it. But heal your relationship with your parents. And I mean it. And it's something that I do with my one-on-one clients, because it is very personalized, is it very individualized, and it's very powerful work. Because the minute you release your parents that you chose as a soul, as parents, to show you and guide you and expand your soul in this lifetime, when you release these bonds, you release the glasses you see them through, and you see yourself through and experiencing yourself through, because you're the one who's experiencing it, you break the cycle, you break the karma that was probably were brought in generation after generation. It is a very powerful work. But I can tell you, if you're not ready to do the inner work right now, just think about and write down, when it comes to your parents, what are the memories you have when it came to money? What are the memories? What are the conversations would look like? What are kind of scenes you have in your mind when it comes to money? What are the things they told you about it? What are the things you took as truth from your parents? See where you can forgive them and yourself for this experience, and truly letting it go and let it be in the past, and moving forward and opening a new chapter, and truly forgiving them. Even if they did horrible things, even if you feel you were treated unfairly, even if things that happened were not something that you agree on, you have to remember that forgiveness is not about agreeing on what they did, good or not. It's about freeing yourself. And you, my love, deserve to be free. And freedom is something that is the biggest gift that you can give yourself. And you're not going to punish them by punishing yourself and holding on to, oh, they should have been better parents, they should have known better, they should. Well, these are the parents you chose as a soul. Let's right now release them from this role, release them and see them for the light and the internal light that they are. So you right now can experience yourself and receive and attract abundance with so much more ease, because now you're like this open conduit for massive abundance. Number 2, as I said, clearing up the shit. And I'm using it very kind of in a way because I want you to remember this. Clearing the gunk, clearing the shit that is not allowing you to receive the massive abundance you are born to have. And let me explain to you, and I'm going to give you this analogy that is going to make so much more sense for you. It's going to be mind-blowing. We, as human beings, and every creature, everything that is alive in this earth right now, or not, everything in this galaxy, let's put it that way, that was born perfect, was born pure, right? We're not supposed to be sick, by the way. That is not something that we should just take as, oh, we're just getting sick. No, we're getting sick because we're being poisoned by the water we drink, by the food that we eat, by the thoughts that we keep thinking that are not serving us, by all things that are around us. And we are internalizing them, and our body is just coping with releasing this toxics out, and sometimes it's too much, right? So when we are truly understand that we're born perfect, we're born in perfect health, and when we're getting sick is truly when we're removing the virus, we're removing the thing that made us sick, and we're coming back to our perfect health, I want you to think about it in the same way when we talk about abundance. You were born abundant already. You were born abundant just because you are, just because you're extension of source that is infinite of abundance. It is everything. Money is part of this everything. Money is part of all this abundance, right? And by the way, it doesn't have to be just dollar bills. It could be experiences, it can be things, it can be knowledge, it can be people. You know, abundance is not just the money, it's everything, right? But when you have everything, this is where you feel limitless. So when you understand you were born like that, and then your mom told you that, oh, sorry, honey, we can't buy this. We don't have money. Or I'm sorry, we can't go to this restaurant. We don't have money. So when you hear all these things that your mom tells you, and as a walking subconscious mind, and up to 7 years old, this becomes your truth. That becomes your internal dialogue. And then you say to yourself, oh, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. And you keep that frequency of I can't afford it into the universe, this lack mentality, and you bringing into, you're reflecting back more things that show you this belief, this true, which is, oh, here is more opportunities for you to feel that you can't afford it. And we're not going to give you enough money so you can feel that you can't afford it. You see how it works? So by clearing up your limited beliefs, the memories that you're attached on and you're still processing life through, and the values you're still processing life through, and your thoughts you're still processing life through, and your relationship with the money you're still processing life through, you're always going to feel lack. But when you're clearing all this stuff, you're becoming clean, and money just flows to you effortlessly, because again, you're just born and meant to be abundant in your version of abundance, and your higher self and God knows what abundance means to you. You don't need to tell them or it or whatever you want to call it. They know. You know, your higher self knows. But the more you allow it, the more it's going to come to you. Okay. Number 3, which is very important, is to learn to listen and move through your intuition. This is one of the biggest important lessons that I learned through this journey that I explained to you in the beginning of this episode, where I was just kind of caught up in the shoulds, caught up in whatever other people are doing, and not kind of tuning into myself and listen to what feels good to me and let my intuition guide me. And if you can't even listen to your intuition and you don't even know how it sounds like, you need to meditate, my love. You need to sit down, even if it's for 10 seconds a day, and just breathing in. And before you know, it's going to be a minute. And before you know, it's going to be 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 and even an hour, that it's going to feel like 15 minutes. But you have to start somewhere. By the way, working on something so amazing for you guys that I can't wait to share with you, that is going to help you to transform, not just understand, but transform your physical, energetical, mindset wise, to become that match for the effortless abundance in your business, in your life, in every area in your life, specifically with money and wealth. So stay tuned for that. So if you're having a hard time meditate, that is going to be amazing for you. Also, one of the things that are very important is to, because intuition is about listening to your body as well. Your body is a walking subconscious, right? So if you feel drained, you feel down, don't force it. Don't force yourself going out there. If you feel like you don't want to go to this networking event, but you showing up with this like half energy and just feeling down and feeling like you're not, like you don't really want to be there, but you have to be there, you're not going to get the clients. It's just going to be full gas on neutral. It's not worth it. So sit at home, relax, give yourself the space to feel, to move through this emotion, to move through this. It doesn't mean you're lazy. It doesn't mean you don't want to show up. It means you're actually listening to yourself. And guess what? The next day, you're going to be pumped. You're going to be out. And trust me, the opportunities will never leave you. The people that you need to meet and the deals you meant to close and the clients you meant to see are going to be there. It's not like if you're going to choose yourself, you lost something. You're only winning. Because again, what are you showing to the world? What are you showing the universe by choosing yourself? Saying, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of it. And if you're really going to the further of this, your richer, most abundant self wouldn't go anywhere they don't want to go. So you're already embodying that rich, abundant version of yourself by choosing yourself. And trust me, your higher self, source God, will not let you, because they speak, and it speaks, and I'm channeling something right now. It speaks through emotions, through what feels good and what feels not good. And when it gives you the sign and the feeling of, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this. What do you think? This is the universe talking to you, giving you the permission slip to chill. Allow yourself to receive. If you're always going to push forward, you're not opening your hand. You're not opening your space to receive. So maybe it's your time to receive, to regroup, to let the energy move. And when you're actually going to be ready, you're going to know, because you're going to feel pumped. You're going to feel good. You want to feel like you want to see people. You want to talk to people. You want to post online. You want to do the things. It's just going to feel effortless. It's not about not doing anything. That is not what I'm talking about in this whole effortlessly abundant life. It's about doing from a place of joy, doing from the place of fun, doing from the place of, I feel like it. Not because I have to, I feel like doing it. And then it becomes effortless. Because trust me, if you would sit at home and do absolutely nothing for the rest of your life, you're going to be miserable. That's not effortlessly abundant life either. It's about doing, but doing from a place of authentically doing what you feel like lightened up by and feel excited to do, it feel good to do. And following also the nudges of coming down, coming back, slowing down. It's always that balance of forward and back, which back doesn't mean back in terms of going back. It's just meaning coming down and allowing. Coming down and allowing. So I hope, guys, this episode kind of opened your eyes. I have something very, very special, as I mentioned, and a free masterclass that I'm working on right now that is going to really help you to from being in a place of just running and pushing and hustling, to really neutralize that. Because if I'm going to tell you right now, just chill the hell down and do nothing, you're going to lose your mind. There is something that you need to kind of neutralize before you even talking about being able to receive effortlessly more money. So I'm working on that. So stay tuned. The announcement is coming up very soon. So make sure you're following me on all my social media, especially at Effortlessly Abundant Life on my Instagram. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, wherever. If you like this episode, I would love for you to make sure to leave a good review, and just your honest review, 5 stars, whatever you want to, and make sure to post it on your social media. And tag me at Effortlessly Abundant Life so I can see it and send you a free hypnosis that is going to help you to attract more money while you sleep. So that is so exciting, guys. And let me know if you have any further questions, anything. I love to hear from you. So comment, in the bottom of this episode or on my YouTube. And yes, I'll see you guys. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you guys listening to. I love you so much.